Hello and good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my divine masculine, my divine feminine. Happy Sunday reading. This is an energy check that I'm focusing more on the fact of this lunar eclipse happening at the end of November of 2020, around the 29th and the 30th, depending in the place people are living in. Okay, so this collective divine masculine of all zodiac sign, the energies are being focused. That's what I've asked for with regards to this lunar eclipse change happening in Gemini around the end of November. Okay, so this is definitely coming after the 11:11 portal. We have seen some of the energies, and now we are doing another recheck on this lunar eclipse season. Okay. Now, having said this, this reading will be from November 28th of 2020 until December 10th of 2020, because once the lunar eclipse happens, it takes a little bit of a time for the energies to catch up and the energies to settle down. That's why I always like to take that time frame in between the change and the settlement of all the energies that happens with all of us in here. So let's get into the reading. Okay, now let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen in here, whatever cards I've got right out in the front is giving me a complete different view of this divine masculine in this collective twin flame that I have been following for a long time. Okay, this is a complete transition again, an energy change that's coming up. We'll get more deeper into the tarot and other oracles, but right away, what I can see is what I can tell you. It's a spoiler alert, guys, but yeah, definitely for good. Definitely for good. And it is something which I was not expecting. But again, like I said, whatever has to show up, my spirit shows me. Whatever has to come up will come up. No matter what we think, what we are not thinking, what we do, what we don't do. Okay, so it is a big time transition again in this collective twin flame connection. But it is the energy, okay? It is the energy, guys. Now, let's get into the reading and see what's going on. Okay, so astrologically, the first card I asked is astrologically, what is happening in this divine masculine in the collective during this period. And we get card number 9, or Uranus the Genius. Now, this card, Uranus the Genius, talks about the tower moment, okay, which is talking about rapid changes in his life, sudden awakening, sudden jolt that he was probably not expecting, even for himself to have realized that. It's like, the aha moment, the epiphany, the shocking epiphany that comes to people when all of a sudden you are waking up and you are recollecting your memories, and there comes the jolt, the surprise that why didn't I think about this before? The epiphany, the light bulb, that moment of awakening, where he's looking at an alternative lifestyle for himself. That is the awakening that I can actually have an alternative lifestyle. It's a sudden transformation that will happen or will occur with this lunar eclipse. And it's very unexpected for him, for you, for everybody, okay? Which might create a kind of turbulence in his life, because he would be waking up all of a sudden with this change, with this kind of new revolution for an alternative lifestyle that probably earlier he had not even kind of, maybe he had made an attempt, but he did not really think in the way that he is going to be waking up and thinking one fine morning within the span of time. The alternative lifestyle. Now, with this, I wanted to find out the fortune that he is attracting, and we get marriage, or card number three. Okay, this is like, three is like the energy of giving birth to something. Three is all about the Empress energy of love, of happiness, of abundance, of this commitment, of this promise, of this bonding, of this beautiful connection, of this twin flame with the marriage card, a spiritual connection, a 3D connection, a promise that needs to be made, a commitment that needs to come in now. It's high time. So, this sudden change, the sudden shock will tell him that he has to now work in giving birth to this. Because, thing is, guys, that if he sits in that same energy of thinking and thinking and thinking, he will not be able to move. So, this universal divine intervention of this Uranus, the genius, is a divine intervention from the universe that is telling him that it's time to walk into this commitment, or make a promise, or tie a knot. Could be spiritual, could be 3D, could be anything, but a promise that now needs to happen in this connection of the twin flame. Okay, this sudden awakening is coming to him. It's coming to him, guys. So, because for so long, what I'm also getting, guys, is that for a very long time, he had also been playing it very safe, you know. Excuse me. He was playing it safe because he was scared. He was playing it safe because he didn't get the epiphany. He was playing it safe because that divine intervention did not hit him. So he was scared, he was playing it safe, he was not sure if he could really give birth to this beautiful connection. So now, universe is stepping in and telling him that no, you will have to move. Okay, this divine intervention, the sudden bolt from the blue, as I would like to call this card with, it's coming up in here with the lunar eclipse to push him towards this commitment, the promise, the marriage with you, divine feminine, because like I said, he was scared. He was not, it's the energy that I'm getting out of these two cards. It's telling me, guys, that he was not stable. He was not feeling happy. Yes, he was not feeling stable enough to think about this commitment in the way that now, with this genius and Uranus, the genius, and this divine intervention of the tower, that is going to push him out of the old and into the new place that he now wants to give birth to. He wants to give birth to, because, another thing also I'm getting, guys, is that for so long he might have been more focused on money, which is a part of the deal, because he knows that if he doesn't have enough in his pocket, it would not be the right situation for him to move into this promise or into this commitment of his heart that he wants to now tie up with you, divine feminine. So, but now the divine intervention of whatever that is going on in his life is going to come up, and it's going to push him into this, because emotionally unfulfilled as a person, where he had only been thinking about money, money, and money, was not making him happy, So now he knows that another thing that I'm getting out of these two cards, guys, another thing is that he knows that if he ties up with you, Divine Feminine, it's only going to increase his health, wealth, prosperity, his money, resources, his finances, because both you guys will be able to contribute to your own happiness and build the place of your own lifestyle. Okay? But he knows that alone, he cannot do this. If he wants emotional fulfillment as well as his health and vitality and his money, he has to be in this commitment with you, Divine Feminine, because by himself, even if he tries, he will not be able to bring back everything that he wants to now bring back in this twin flame connection. So, this epiphany, this epiphany that if he ties up with you, if this is a joint venture, if he gets into that joint venture with you, Divine Feminine, it's only then that he will be able to bring back everything that he truly deserves, he wants, his wish fulfillment, but he himself alone cannot do this work. As simple as that is also what I'm getting. Now, the next card in here with the Akashic, see this Five of Roses. Okay, now over here, I want to tell you the former card is Four of Roses, which is the views of his ego. Okay, so he has gone through that story. He knows where his problem was with his ego, and because his ego was so high at one point in time, he could not expand his own mind. He was getting stuck in that ego, which is where the ego has collapsed. The ego will collapse as well. His pride, his ego, everything that he had been working for himself, by himself for a long time is collapsing because now he has realized that if he holds on to his ego and pride, he will not be able to get what he wants in life with you and for himself. So, if he wants the best out of the story, he will have to get rid of his pride and ego that he had been holding, the narcissist behavioral pattern of his old status quo where he had been playing it very safe because he thought, like, oh, yeah, it's okay. I mean, she's going to be there, the Divine Feminine, and I can enjoy what I'm doing at this point without bothering to go forward into the story. But now he has realized or will be realizing that that is not possible anymore. He will have to choose his own road with that pride and ego of his own self that needs to crumble. The faulty structure that he had built in his own life will suddenly collapse where he will realize that this is not something that he can do by himself, because what he would have been trying perhaps is that without expanding wherever he was with his ego, he could have built what he liked, he could have been happy in that place. But today he's coming to the point of realizing that no, that's not going to work. If I need my health, wealth, vitality, my money, my happiness, my emotional fulfillment, I need her. I need her to be a part of my life. And that is where the Five of Roses or the garden is coming in. And this card is talking about expansion or arrival of children in his own life. Okay. So, what I'm getting, guys, is it's talking about his present condition of his own kids that he might have and the future kids that he will probably have to expand into his own life as well. The kids who belong to you, Divine Feminine, if you guys have kids, okay? But, apart from that, this is an expansion of his own heart. Because look at the green color, look at the green that he has got all over the place, which is what is telling me that he wants to now join his own tribe members, create a family of his own that includes his own tribe of his own children if he possibly has. If he doesn't, maybe it would be, his extended family or whosoever is present, and include that of your own life, divine feminine. It's basically an expansion of fun with kids from both ends, enjoying life, expanding his heart to allow his heart to move in the direction of this expansion, of joining the forces together, of joining the families together, of joining the tribe together, so that he can really enjoy his life in the right possible way without that ego. That's where the ego has cleared up now. And that is why he's being able to expand himself into thinking and believing, that with this commitment or this promise, he will be able to bring in that kind of a family situation in his life, which is the fortune of the main female, that is you, divine feminine, that he's attracting with card number 2, which is a very intuitive or a high priestess kind of an energy. It's a secret that he's probably not telling you now, but he's working towards his expansion with you, divine feminine, because he really wants to now create a kind of situation in his life where his, like I said, his own children, or your family members, your tribe, whoever is a part of your life, divine feminine, and whoever till today is a part of his life, to join the forces together in this new promise and bring together a family situation that would make both of you very, very happy and contented and peaceful and loving energy. Okay, now the next card out here, guys, is his wisdom card, which is talking about the masculine energy of yang. Now look at this card. The divine masculine energy, the magician, card number 1. But his wisdom is giving him that power. His wisdom is giving him that force. His wisdom is giving him that passion. Okay, for the divine masculine, because this is a complete work that he's doing at this point with his passion in place. Lot of passion, lot of force. Look at the 2 hands and look at the fire energy here. There's so much of passion within him that he's holding with regards to this commitment, with regards to this expansion of his own family life, or the kind of life that he now wants to extend towards you, bringing together not only 2 people, but bringing together a complete tribe for himself. Okay, so with this I get card number 5 of the mature man, and this is his maturity, because with card number 5 of the mature man, he has learned his lesson, guys, that I told you right in the beginning, that even if he tries to improve the quality of his life by himself, he cannot do that anymore. That time period for him is gone. It's over, finished. So if he now wants the lessons he has learned throughout this time period, is now telling him that if he really wants to build back everything in the right way with a lot of passion that he has now in his wisdom level, to make this happen, he will have to join hands with you. He will have to take this, because with this card number 5 or the mature man, guys, he has learned a lot of lesson. See, he's become so mature and he's looking at the globe. He's looking at the expansion part of the story here. So if it is a long distance for you guys, how you can merge together, how you can build things together, how you all can kind of come together, expand, not only, like I said, expand yourself, but expand the whole situation together, which is going to make both of you feel very, very happy and contented. Now, the next card out is I've got people or card number 8 and new supportive connection. See, this is the story here. He's looking at this as his new supportive connection, okay, in whatever shape and form. With you, Divine Feminine, with, like I said, with you as a collective, your collective, his collective, the new supportive connection that is building, or this is the new supportive connection that will bring in a lot of strength in this connection as well. Lot of strength in this connection, and with it, the fortune he is getting is card number 4, or breaks down to 4 of a wealthy man. And this is where he will feel wealthy, happy, emotionally, financially, materialistically, spiritually, in every possible way. In every possible way, where his stability will not only shine, he will shine, his health will shine, his wealth will shine. Everything that he has been thinking of doing by himself for a long period in time is the understanding, the epiphany, the light bulb moment that is coming to him, that is telling him that he cannot do it alone anymore. Like if he keeps playing safe, he will not get anything, period. Because then he will be sitting in that old place and he will not have anything for himself, because he doesn't see by yourself you can only go to that extent. But when you have two people of the same kind coming together, it's a huge force of passion that's going to build up. And this is the energy that he's getting, that even if I continue playing safe, I lose out on this wealthy man situation. Because wealthy man is not only talking about money, it's talking about health, it's talking about wealth, it's talking about spiritual growth, it's talking about emotional fulfillment, which is this new supportive connection with you, is the strength, is that strength to bring him back everything that he has not had, or he will never have if he goes by himself. So this is where this complete picture is, which we will break down, of course, to see more in here. Okay. Now the bottom of the deck, people, for the astrological part is water element or sensing. See the amount of blue? This is like the Ace of Cups energy, guys. The Ace of Cups energy with the blue is talking about a lot of story about communication, sensing that part of the Ace of Cups, knowing that it's time for him to bring back that stability of happiness, of his health, of his wealth, of his emotional sense of fulfillment, where there has been a lack of energy before, or it also could be that he's planning a trip, that is where he's looking at the globe. For some of you guys, you're planning to join your divine feminine, take a trip to meet her, okay? And knowing what is accurate without being told. So he knows what is the right part of the story. He's sensing that. It's the Ace of Cups energy, guys. Okay, where, earlier he had been feelings of guilt or shame, or he had not been pushing it hard. He was very secretive. So confronting fears and secrets and avoiding those experiences that he was feeling, So now he's getting a sense of that. He's getting a sense of rejoining the entire tribe, the entire clan with the Ace of Cups, with a lot of happiness, a lot of communication from his heart. Getting together, building back together, joining the forces of the universal soulmate energy together, or the twin flame energy together, to build back this new supportive connection. And here, the bottom of the deck for the Akashic is card number 2, or will, wisdom, and power. You see card 2 here. So this is where he's getting that will and wisdom also, maybe telepathically, maybe in the psychic ability, that this is what he now needs to do with you. This is what he needs because you have that will, you have that wisdom, you have that power. And he wants to use that same will and wisdom and that power in order to bring together this entire supportive, new supportive connection. The bottom of the deck for the wisdom oracle is building blocks. And then you have soulmates. See, this is where he is starting to work again. He's starting to work again, and then you have higher power. So he's getting back a lot of strength to build back this connection. He's building it from whatever happened in the past to becoming, this is card number breaks down to card number 10, and then you get 1. So whatever he had to lose will be lost and has been lost. And now he's coming to the point of rebuilding, restarting this work with this mature man kind of a quality or personality or persona that he's acquiring in himself because of the lessons, the hardships, the trauma, the problems, that he has been facing all this time by himself. The bottom of the deck for this quantum oracle, guys, is intention is peace. He wants to bring back peace and this connection from that place of instability, of that place of not knowing what to do, from that place of not getting the right quality and the frame of mind, to work towards his own stability, his own health, his own wealth, his own vitality, even with his health, being feeling wealthy in every part of the story, in every possible way. So he is really putting up a lot of work right now, and we are going to break this down, guys, to see more energy in here. First, we'll play with the tarot, and then we'll get into the next part of the story. So you see this kind of thing is building up with this lunar eclipse change, people, with this lunar eclipse change, because see, at this point, he has also learned about the fact. Oh, and before I forget, the bottom of the deck for the fortune, oh God, I didn't see this. For the fortune is 22, breaks down to 4, and 11, that is sudden wealth. See, 11 is like the 4 of wand energy. Card number, breaks down to that card, 1111 card. That's bringing back his wealth. Wealthy man feels wealthy when that person feels stable and happy with his emotions, spiritual growth, understanding, life purpose, higher purpose, in every possible way. And this is that stability factor that he is coming to the point of bringing back into this connection for himself as well as for you, because like I said, he has realized it's going to be the epiphany that will come and shake him up, where he will know that he cannot do all this by himself anymore, period. He cannot, even if he tries hard, he cannot, because that's where the universe is telling him now, with this tower and Uranus, the genius, that will kind of suddenly, out of the blue, will wake him up and will shake him up, and this idea, this clarity, this picture is going to start working for him. Okay, for some it's already in the way, for some it's happening, but this lunar eclipse is bringing about a complete change and transformation in the divine masculine because of this realization, like all of a sudden it hits you, it's epiphany. Oh, I didn't think like that. I hadn't worked like that. I hadn't, I was playing it very safe. I was feeling happy and playing it safe. Now I cannot play it safe anymore. I cannot. Because if I continue to play it safe, I'm going to lose out on everything. And this connection is not going to stay with me forever if I don't act on it. Okay? So this is the story that is building up, and it will suddenly come to him. Suddenly, he will, that light bulb moment, like I told you. Okay? Now let's get into the tarot first, guys, and let's see what's going on. Let's see what about the Uranus genius and the marriage in here, or the Empress energy that he's bringing back into this connection, or wants to bring back into this connection. Because for him, like I said, separation is over. That part of separation is over. He now really wants to start quickly working on the story in here. So with this, you get Three of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Okay, look at the breakthrough. With the Tower and the Ace of Swords, he's getting a complete breakthrough from the Eight of Swords energy at the bottom, where he was stuck before. He couldn't talk, he couldn't move, and now with these two energies of the Three of Wands and the Queen of Cups, he has started to work on this dream project with you, Divine Feminine, because he considers you to be as the Queen of Cups in his life, the person with the unconditional life force or love that she has for him and for this connection. So he is already out of that situation, where he was feeling stuck and empty and unhappy. Where now today he's building up a new story. It's the energy of him moving out of the Two of Wands, where the desire has now turned into reality. Let's put it like that. The Two of Wands is planning and desire. The Three of Wands is just in the process of waiting for the ships to come into the harbor, but he has already reached the place of getting a complete picture that he is painting with regards to even communication that he possibly wants to now have with you in the most truthful way. Okay, and that is the breakthrough. Okay, about this communication, that it's time to communicate the story, because this Eight of Swords energy had been with him for a long time. This is the energy that had been keeping him stuck. So now he's moving out of that energy and he is walking into the energy with this Tower and the marriage, that it's time for him. It's time that he has to communicate with you, Divine Feminine, and communicate with you in the right way, the truthful way. He cannot sit in that energy because his epiphany is like telling him, you cannot sit in that stuck energy anymore. You have to rebuild. You have to restart. There could be obstacles, but he's not looking at the obstacles right now. He's looking at his new life with the Three of Wands. He's looking at his words and communication, the way he wants to now talk with you. That will make you feel happy with this unconditional love, that you have been holding for him for a long time, where this truth now needs to be told. Where he will have to declare his truth for you, telling you what he really wants from this connection and getting together in a place of being happy. So right now, what he's doing or will be doing is he's working on his part of communication as to what he now needs to tell you, how he has to tell you. Okay, what are the right words that needs to be told and communicated in the right way, being very truthful, being very honest, being absolutely to the point of knowing his clarity, of understanding what he wants, of his communication that is very important for him right now, with this epiphany and this marriage or the Empress kind of an energy that he will have to be very, very clear, concise, and very precise with his words and communication. Okay, let's look at the Garden and the main female. So this is where he's coming to, guys, from that stuck energy of the Eight of Swords, where he was trapped in his own head. He could not talk, he could not communicate, or somebody was halting him from communicating. He was scared, he was being unhappy, but still he couldn't talk at one point in time, which is where the epiphany is changing him, which is where that story about his stuck situation is completely dissipating, moving away. Okay, with the Garden and the main female, he's got the Knight of Wands. Look at this. He's becoming adventurous, he's becoming very passionate, with his words, what that he wants to talk to you. From the page of Sword Energy, which was the delay, where he had not been communicating with you, where he had not been saying the truth. He's becoming very adventurous because of this Knight of Wand. He's coming in very quickly. He wants to come in very quickly and say what he has to tell you, what he has to think, because he's already thought this out and he wants to now communicate with you. It's only a matter of him letting you know his plan, his idea that he now wants to move forward to. And this Knight of Wand energy, guys, is an energy of somebody who doesn't care about the obstacle they have. You know, they don't care about the obstacle. It could be any obstacle in their way, they are going to overtake that obstacle. So with their words too, if they come into a place of obstacle with you where you probably will try to stop him, I'm sure you won't, but if there is that, he will override that. He will override that obstacle because he knows there could be obstacle in moving forward with his communication with you, divine feminine. Because he had this delay with the page of sword where he had been only observing, not speaking, not talking, could have been a little manipulative energy of his, kind of deceitful energy as well, where he knew what you wanted, but he was not coming forward to tell you that. Okay, he was just sitting and kind of waiting for you to come forward, and now he has looked into the picture to see that you are not coming forward. You are not interested in talking unless he opens up and talks with you. So this is where the whole plan is changing because he has realized you're not going to be talking. You did all your talking, divine feminine. It's time for him now to move and talk, be passionate about his communication, of his own understanding of what he now wants to build with you in the right way. Let's look at the young and the mature man. So this is where the energy level is changing because you know what? I'm also getting this, guys, that he has realized that you will not be coming forward. Because he might have been waiting for you to come forward where he could have spoken what he had to speak. And that was probably why the page of sword energy was there, where he was delaying this communication, waiting for you to make the first move. But today he's coming to the point of understanding that you are not going to be doing that. So, what is the other option? The other option is that he has to come forward. Simple. Let's look at the young and the mature man. And this is where his understanding has developed. That he is not going to get anything out of you anymore unless he gives it to you or makes the first move. Because of that, he's getting this wisdom, is giving him that power of his own epiphany and age and maturity to understand that, it's time for his own action to happen. He will have to make that move. He will have to come forward and say the truth to you. He will have to tell you what his intention is, of what he wants to now do with this connection with you, divine feminine, because or else he's not getting anything. The young and the mature man, please. And this is where the story is. That, it was like the story of this person, guys, where he was, like I told you, that ego part of this story, remember? Where his ego was preventing him from opening up and talking with you because his pride, he thought, would be defeated. His pride would be hurt if he comes forward and gives you this commitment or the promise. Whereas he wanted you to come forward, to protect his own pride. Then he could say, oh, you know what? Okay, you want it, let me think it over. Let me go through it, blah, blah, blah. Whereas he wanted to hold himself up there so that he wouldn't be defeated. That was the fight he was having. that he didn't want to be defeated in his own pride and ego. And he wanted you to come forward and tell him what you want from this connection. But over the days, he has observed, or over the months, he has observed that you are not going to be doing that. So now the next option is the alternative life that he now wants to create, which means that he will have to now talk, he will have to communicate, he will have to open up and tell you the truth. Okay, now with the young and the mature man, guys, you got Seven of Wands, you got the Page of Cups, and you got the Eight of Swords. Yeah, see? There was, this Seven of Wands is the block he had. And with the Eight of Swords, this is the pride and the ego that he couldn't come forward to offer you the apology or to tell you the truth with the Page of Cups, because it's a situation of his own behavioral pattern. And this is the Death card at the bottom telling you that this situation with that mature man and the young energy is going through a complete change. Of, this is completely, okay, what I'm getting, guys, this is his complete pride and ego that was preventing him because he didn't know. See, if you look here, with the Seven of Wands, he felt that there was too many obstacles in his road, too many challenges in making this happen, in offering you that apology or in being creatively apologetic towards the story. He was finding it very difficult because he thought there were a lot of challenges, that he had in the past too, with regards to coming forward and being apologetically humble towards this situation here with the Eight of Swords, where he was again all totally in his head. Totally in his head. How can I tell her? What do I tell her? Which means if I tell her, I will be defeated. I will be losing my pride and I will be losing my ego. That ego and that pride was keeping him entrapped. Whereas that young and the mature man, the ripening of this situation, today he understands, he has to change this. He has to open up and talk. Simple. He has to open up and talk. Because if he doesn't, he will not get anything because you are not going to talk about the situation. That is where the death is coming in. This situation is changing with his own maturity and understanding here. That if he sits in the same place of holding his thoughts in his head and not being able to apologize and being creatively, emotionally mature enough to come forward and give you that cup of love, make you happy, he won't get anything. Yes, there has been challenges before, and he had been continuing with that challenge in his head because he was scared to come forward and tell you what he really thought you deserved. Divine Feminine. And that is the Death card here. That is the transition. That is the change. That is all happening in here with this lunar eclipse of the Ace of Swords, where he now knows truth needs to be told, because unless he is clear and tells you the truth, you won't move. You won't move, Divine Feminine. You guys are not going to come forward and tell him what you want anymore, because you have achieved the higher power of your understanding and you're waiting. Yes, you love this man, you're waiting for him, but you're not going to make that effort anymore. He will have to now make that effort. The ball is in his court now. Let's look at the new supportive connection and the wealthy man. And this is the epiphany. This is the complete shocking revelation in his life. This is the epiphany. Because see, another thing. For a long time, he has watched you. He knows you. He has observed you. You have always made the move. You have always given him that unconditional love. You have always supported him. You have always been beside him. But he hasn't made that effort to express his gratitude and love in the right way towards this story with you, which is where the gratitude and love, the apology, it's coming up on the surface because he now knows he cannot sit in that place anymore. No way. And if he sits, if he doesn't express his gratitude and love towards you, with words, with actions, with an apology, whatever, he won't get anything. He knows it. His wisdom knows it. With the learning lesson that he has learned throughout this period in time from his own sources. Let's look at the new supportive connection and the wealthy man. So this is the story, guys. This is where he knows that he has to be like the Knight of Wands. He has to come in very quickly, very adventurously, very passionately, very, very quickly. Knight of Wands is a very quick energy, and tell you what he has to tell you. That is his words of love, his words of gratitude, his words of his own understanding about your unconditional love, about you, what you have done for him. So all that needs to come to the surface now. Now with the new supportive connection and the wealthy man, you get the Nine of Pentacles. See, this is where his own nourishment is. This is where his own happiness is. Where you and him can both nourish, because both of you guys should have that equal amount of health, wealth, and vitality towards each other, towards yourself, towards each other. Where these two forces, when they join together, makes this connection only flourish, only grow, only nurture this connection, only build, because both of you, in the Nine of Pentacles, it's an independent energy of two people coming together to build a team, where independently they are both very, very strong, where independently they are both wealthy, yes, but when that 9 becomes the 10, where two people, where the separation is still on, where both of you guys are still single, is where that new supportive connection will make him feel enriched when the Ten of Pentacles comes into the picture, where you guys will start working towards this new entire part of the story in your family situation. The bottom of the deck is the Six of Swords. See, this is where he is moving with the Empress energy, okay, and the Two of Cups. Look, the Emperor, this is the divine masculine. He's moving towards the Two of Cups, the Empress. This is what he wants to give birth to. In the Six of Swords, he is moving away from the difficult area of where he was not able to communicate with you in the right way, guys, where his baggages was, his own emotional baggage was too heavy on him, where he could not really talk about what he wanted to talk to you about. So this is where he's coming to bringing back the Ten of Pentacles, because right now he knows that both you guys are independently very good in your own situation, but this situation of the Nine of Pentacles needs to become the Ten of Pentacles, which is where he's working towards this connection, where he now wants to express his love, happiness, and gratitude towards this connection, to not only flourish and enrich this connection, but to bring back the Ten of Pentacles, the seeds of love that you guys both have sowed at one point in time, to make that into a reality here. Okay, so this is where the story is all moving, people. It's all moving, guys. Okay, so it's a beautiful energy of coming together again in the right way this time. In the right way, because he wants to definitely, that's where he is the new supportive connection. He wants to build, to make not only himself feel happy, but make you feel happy, and then both people feel happy to build this and expand this entire situation into the Ten of Pentacles in here. Okay, now let's look at the next oracle card with the Three of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Swords, or the Uranus and the Genius. What you have to say here? With Uranus and Genius, what you have to say here? Garden. See, this is that garden. This is that community. This is the party time. This is the venue. You know, a lot of green, a lot of heartfelt desire of making it very social at this point in time, you know, where he wants to come to the place of making this very social and acceptable in the society, that this is also a part of your story, that he is not single anymore, or that karmic situation is not there anymore, and that he is moving into a new relationship with you, you know, which is an event, which is a celebration or a date that he wants to now go with you outside the vicinity of his trapped environment. So with the garden, you get fox, or the self-interest, you know, the deceit that he had been holding towards making this public. There was a lot of deceit earlier that he could not really go forward because like I told you, he was playing it safe, that self-interest, that, you know, he was playing it safe. He was not really keen on making this social or making this date happen with you, where he could introduce you to his friends or community, to the people he knows and you know, and he was deceived. There was a lot of deceit on that environment energy, where he could not, he was trapped in a deceit. And from where you get this kite, where this Uranus is coming with an unexpected liberation and shock, a reckoning that this is not what it is. He needs to make it public. Because see again, if he wants this commitment with you, ladies, and the bottom is the Chariot. Okay, this is where he's moving. Now, if he wants to make this commitment, or rather, let me put it like this. If he wants this commitment, he also knows that he will have to make it public. He cannot hide this. He cannot be in that situation of feeling very safe in his own little environment and not letting the world know about you. No. This is where that liberation, that surprise, that reckoning is all coming up, where the deceit of this earlier place of him doing the right thing with you is coming to an end. It's coming to an end, and it's going to be a very surprising part in your story too, Divine Feminine. You will possibly learn about this with the Ace of Sword here. This is the truth that will be told, that he now wants to make it public. He wants people to know about you. He's not scared of people knowing about you anymore. Okay, he wants to take you out on a date. He wants to go out to a place. He wants to be happy with you. Where earlier he had that fragmented energy of deceit and trap, being very cunning and sly about the world knowing about you, and he was stopping that portion of, letting the world know about you, which is where this reckoning and this unexpected release of that situation will liberate this connection to an extent that people will know about this connection now. And that means if he has to tell the truth to you or to other people, he will do that. He will have to do that. Okay, let's look at the Five of Roses, the being female, and the Knight of Wand energy. This is where that passion is coming into focus with him, because now he is like, I don't care if the world knows about you, or me, or anybody else. Let's look at the Knight of Wand, because now he's becoming very passionate with his understanding, with his story that, if his heart is telling him, he's listening to his heart, not his brain anymore, that was giving him that deceit in the trap, is also what I'm getting. When his brain was telling him that, no, you cannot do this. If you do this, other people will mock you, other people will laugh at you, or there will be a lot of gossip with the third party and situations. People will not, kind of take this kindly, which is where he was scared about this thing being exposed before, where the sudden shock and revelation will release that energy, where he cannot hold on to that deceit and trapped energy anymore. Of the Eight of Sword, remember? Of the Eight of Sword, it will be a total liberation from his side, which will completely shock you as well, Divine Feminine, is also what I'm getting. Now, with the Knight of Wands, he's got the Hanged Man. Look, the Neptune card of enlightenment. Okay, this is the dream, this is the inspiration, this is the enlightenment. His psychic ability, his spirituality is totally enlightened that this is what needs to happen with the diamond ring, the proposal. Look, I mean, can you really make this up? Can you? I'm shuffling the cards right in front of you. The bottom is the coffin, which is the other part where the other things were absolutely not moving earlier, which is coming to an end with the death card I showed you in the coffin. It's all talking about the past coming to an end with this new partnership, with this new proposal, with this new marriage, with this new union in here. And he's very passionately looking at, that's what I told you, he's very passionately looking at expanding his own family life with you, Divine Feminine, with this agreement, taking this partnership into the next level with this diamond ring, proposing to you, taking you out on a date, putting the rest of the stuff 6 feet underground. He doesn't want to come up with the old story anymore. He's, and this is also what I'm getting, guys, is that he is completely trying to wash away the old with the new, surprising you with the story that you will be so surprised, Divine Feminine, that you will be like, huh? What was that? Where did that come from? That kind of a shocking energy that will set into you, because he's planning on kind of even giving you that shock, which is the least expected from your end. You are not expecting that from him. And then all of a sudden, boom, out of the blue, he comes forward and the story completely changes. And you are in a shock, you don't know what it is and where did this come from. That kind of an energy. Okay, let's look at the Yang or the matured man, the Seven of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. So this is an energy, guys, where all of a sudden he will talk to you, communicate with you, express his gratitude, and you will be like, oh my God, years I haven't heard this. Where did this come from? Where did this come from? This kind of an energy was not what I have ever felt or dealt with before with him, where he really has made the effort now, or is making the effort to include his power in telling me the truth. Divine Feminine, I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so this is an energy I'm getting, guys, from this entire story so far. Like I told you, this is an energy that he now knows that if he talks about the past with you, you will only be dragged into the past again, and there will be again arguments and fight and bickering and conflict, because you will not be able to forget what he had done before, right? So now he is planning on reviving the whole thing in a very different way, so that you are washed away from your old energy and you step in with him into the new energy, and you forgive and forget him for whatever he did in the past, is also what I'm getting. Okay, now with this energy in here, guys, he's got house, heart. Okay, So this is where, his belonging has been. Now his belonging is changing, the comfort is changing into the heart place. He wants this comfort with his heart. His heart's desire is giving him the fulfillment, the forgiveness, building back a new belonging of his own self in the place he lives in, or a new place that he's looking for with regards to this love and romance, the joy and the bliss that he wants to celebrate with you, with his gratitude, with his love, with his apology, telling you the right thing, with a lot of kindness and forgiveness in his heart. And then you get the broom and the sun, which is telling me that he is washing away the old. He is washing away the repetitive energy that he had of the Eight of Swords in his head, because he is paying more attention to his heart now. His heart is talking to him more than his brain, guys. More than his brain. His heart is very, very open, passionate, understanding that certain, like I told you, the past doesn't need to come back anymore. It's all over. It's all over. It's a new time for a new heart situation to flourish, a new comfort, a place of new comfort to come into power with the sun energy of the divine masculine. And this is exactly what he's working on, guys. He's sweeping away the old. He's sweeping away his pride. Like I told you, that pride and that ego that he had too much in him, he's sweeping away because he's making space in his heart for this new transition to happen, for this new power, the vigor he's getting, the power he's getting, even with his own health. Okay, because he's being able to sweep away the old, the dog, a very supportive friend. He wants you, divine feminine, that's you. Very loyal, supportive, faithful companion that he has. He's realizing that he has wasted his time before in understanding what he should have done a long time ago. A long time ago. His heart is more inclined now towards this new home, the new place, because wherever he has been living before has only been a shelter. But when the heart talks to him, that shelter becomes a place of love, happiness, kindness, affection, everything, where, the old part of the story now needs to go. For the new sun energy, the power within him, the radiance needs to come back into him and into you and into both of you guys. And that is exactly, the pride is washing away. The radiance is going to show up. The power is going to show up. The vigor is going to come back both in his life, in his health as well. More so I'm getting in his health because his heart is opening up. When he was feeling very miserable before, that he has nobody loves him, nobody cares for him, nobody, looks at him, so on and so forth. So this entire situation is undergoing a complete dramatic change in here. Let's look at the supportive connection, the wealthy man, and the Nine of Pentacles in here. So this energy, guys, is the energy that is giving him the power and the vigor of the yang energy, the masculine energy of his own understanding here. Let's look at the Nine of Pentacles. See, this is where the story is. This is where the story is, and this energy, complete energy change, this lunar eclipse towards the end of the month of November, guys, is the whole story in here, okay? So whatever he had been hiding, whatever he had been fragmented energy that he had before, where he was back and forth, he didn't know what to do, it's all settling down. It's all settling down to a lot of stability now. And you will get to feel that for yourself too, divine masculine. Look, with the Nine of Pentacles, guys, he's got the keys. Relocation. He wants to be single. He wants to be enjoying his life. There is there is a cyclical part of the story that's happening with the trophy or the victory, because now he wants to liberate himself from the old energy and walk into the new energy, the woman with you, divine feminine. He is very ambitious. He's becoming very ambitious because he knows that this relocation of his own independence that he wants to achieve, with you turning this Nine of Pentacles into the Ten of Pentacles, will only make him, like I said, not only wealthy, but will also give him back his victory, his success, his reputation in life, and his fame. Okay, and this is the energy he's working towards you, divine feminine, because he has learned this from you guys, from the ball and chain, where he has been feeling very heavy, where his emotions has been drained because there has been no justice, and now he wants a closure from that old commitment and walk into this new commitment with you, divine feminine. Wow, 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 guys. That's all I can say. Okay, that's all I can say. Okay, let's look at the Chakra Wisdom Oracle here with this story and see where this is. What is more? What more message do we get out of the story here? Okay, so yeah, he's taken a decision, or he will be taking a decision shortly. And I get a feeling, guys, for most of the divine masculine, they have already taken the decision. It's a matter of you knowing it, not knowing it, divine feminine, but this is coming to you. Okay? This is coming to you, guys. It's a big time boost. Wow. All I can say is a wow, guys. So happy for you people, really. So happy for you. He has learned a lot of lesson, and he understands himself much better than what he did before. Let's look at the garden, the fox, and the sky here. With the wisdom oracle, please. What do you have to say here, my spirit? It's a sudden, like the epiphany, that epiphany you probably not expecting. It's epiphany for you too, divine feminine, not only for him. That you were not expecting this aha moment. It's like, what? Where did that come from? The words he hasn't spoken for so long. The things he hasn't done for so long. It's all coming to an end. Because like I told you, he was waiting for you to make that move. And when that didn't happen, he's like, oh, shoot. What am I doing now? What am I going to do now? Forgiveness and enlightenment. Look at this. He's learning to forgive himself, guys. He's learning to forgive himself and get into the picture of enlightenment from that victim mentality. He's learning to forgive his own victim mentality because he's realizing the truth in here with that epiphany that he had been sitting, that Eight of Sword energy is the victim mentality, where he could not talk, where he could not communicate, where he could not openly declare his love for you because he was feeling victimized. He was feeling helpless with inner child issues, with narcissist behavior, with fear situation. Now he's learning to forgive himself and telling himself it's okay. What I did wrong was wrong. But now it's time to move ahead. It's time to go forward. It's time to gather my wits around me again from this victim mentality where I had been sitting with my heart closed, not knowing what to do, not getting an idea, not knowing how to move or where I should move or what I should move towards. Let's look at the Neptune and the diamond ring here. So this victim mentality, guys, was the issue of his trouble, of his trouble, because he was completely in that victim mentality from where he is moving into enlightenment, forgiving himself for the mistakes he has made before with you. That's very important. Because unless you can forgive yourself, you cannot move forward. Unless you can forgive your past, you cannot move into the future. Right? Now, with this hanged man, or the Neptune card of enlightenment and the diamond, he gets passion and growth. Look at this. Look at this. So much with the Knight of Wand energy, there's so much of passion for this growth to now happen because he is learning to forgive himself. Impatience, and he is very impatient. See, the Knight of Wand energy is an impatient energy of getting things done quickly. It's because now he wants to really open up and tell you what he knows about you and what he wants to now do. He's very impatient in his heart. His heart is full of love, the greed, the growth. And look at the passion he has for this energy here towards this growth of this twin flame connection. Wow. And is very impatient. He wants to move very quickly, very, very quickly towards this quest, towards this growth. Like it's like that energy of, oh my God, planning a trip maybe, or going somewhere, or coming towards you. It's like, when do I talk to her? When do I see her? When is that we can sit together and really have that conversation? Very impatient for that quest to begin. This is the quest. He is on a quest for his own independence, for his own recognition. That needs to turn into that, like I said, needs to be joined together to turn, and is very impatient to make all this happen very quickly now. Okay, let's look at the house, the heart, the broom, and the sun, please. What you have to say here. Very impatient for this quest. He wants to move very quickly. And for some, it also could be, guys, that some of the divine masculine could be shifting into a different place, could be getting into a new job situation, anything. Moving from the old area. It could be anything for anyone as well. Okay? And with this, he gets the instinct. This is his instinct. This is his instinct for survival now. Look. This is his instinct of survival because his perception towards life has changed. Towards his release. His perception and quest, look, that he needs to release the old in order to move into the new. His entire perception with that Neptune card of enlightenment is changing his whole story here in this cycle of life in the lunar eclipse. Wow. Let's look at the geese and the trophy here. His instinct of survival is becoming so strong that he now knows that if he has to live well in this world, he will have to live with you or he is gone. Let's look at the geese and the trophy here. But he has to make himself independent first with his health, wealth, and money before he can really make that into the Ten of Pentacles. So, but he also wants to keep you in the picture, Divine Feminine, so that you guys know and that both of you guys are working towards each other to build back that strength and that supportive connection to feel absolutely enriched. So he's going to keep you in the loop. He wants to keep you in the picture, but he wants to come towards you with a lot of gratitude and love, keeping his pride away so that he can bring you back into the picture for his new life story here. Now with this, he gets dissipating, workaholic, guilt, and recovery. Wow. The bottom is balance, yeah. He's bringing back a complete balance in his own life towards his own freedom, guys. Okay? dissipating from whatever that energy of depression he had before, when he was not moving, when he was stuck. He's becoming a workaholic, guys, that is going to, dissipate that energy and out of that guilt that he had been feeling of the depression. He's becoming a workaholic towards moving out of that depression and the guilt that had been sitting with him towards his own recovery now, with his wealth and health more so, and his vitality, guys, to bring back that balance, from all the trickery and the confusion, and accepting the reality for what it is truly is. Okay? For what truly it is, or what truly this connection means to him now. Complete balance of give and take in the situation with you, Divine Feminine. So he's going to come towards you. He's going to come towards you in the right way. And that is what he's working towards, a balance as well. Because, see, again, if he has to come to you, first he has to come towards you in the right balanced way. He cannot come towards you in the wrong way anymore, because if he does, boom, it's gone again. It's gone again. And he's very, very, like I told you, I think in one of my readings earlier, I had told you that he's working on something for his own situation, but he is taking his time because he literally wants to not open the can of worms with you anymore, because he's learning to forgive himself as well, but he wants to surprise you in the right way, not going back in the past, because that is what his fear situation was, that if he opens the can of worms once again, it will only create more amount of, it will create more mess in his and your life. So he's working towards his recovery from the old depressed guilt state of mind, where he had not been able to do anything much for himself, playing it very safe with, holding back his strength and not talking, not communicating, not moving, in a very stagnant energy of not understanding that life is not going to wait for him. It's not going to wait for him forever. And this is the story here, that he wants to be, he's becoming very impatient, because he now really wants to move quickly, because he knows a lot of time has gone by. He knows a lot of time has gone by from his own place as well. Okay, let's look at the forgiveness and enlightenment with the mystic moon in here. So this is where he's learning to forgive and becoming more spiritually enlightened, spiritually growing with his passion, with the instinct of survival in the right way now. Okay, with forgiveness and enlightenment, guys, he's got recognition, karmic partner, and a received. Look. He's forgiving himself for his past mistake with his karmic partner, guys. Because he had failed to recognize you, because he was stuck with this karmic situation, which created a lot of regret in his life, which today has created a lot of regret, which is where he's working and settling down, the divine masculine look, settling down into the new balanced area of his life, because he has received the message of enlightenment for his past mistake, which is learning to forgive. Because earlier he neglected you, earlier he did not receive you in the right way, because he was stuck in this karmic situation, guys. He was stuck with this karmic partner situation that prevented him from moving forward and receiving the right message of spiritual enlightenment, when he had failed to recognize you for your worth, divine feminine, which is also what he's learning to forgive, his own mistake that he has done. Let's look at the passion and the growth here. Okay, and there is a lot of regret that he should have not done this, or that he should have taken action on this situation a long time back. But he has not been able to do that. He had been sitting because, like I told you, inner child issue, codependency, the devil energy, it could be anything that was keeping him on hold. Like I told you, see, when he could not make this public because he was scared of the situation being exposed, because he was working towards a karmic partner and not paying attention to what his heart truly desired, when he was deceiving his own heart, inner heart issues, which is liberating today. And a sudden liberation will open up this entire chapter that is coming with the Ace of Sword in here, people. Okay, truth be told, there also could be a possibility, guys, that I'm also getting with this karmic partner situation now, is that he might have been hiding this entire story from his karmic partner. That today he will open up and tell that person, whoever it is. Okay, whoever it is, the truth will be told to the karmic partner about you now. And that is also what I'm getting, which was in hiding before. Let's look at the passion and the growth in here, please. See, Muse. He's becoming very ambitious, very diligent. He's learning to understand his own need. He's painting his own picture once again from that area of grief and that regret and that sorrow, with the unawakened state of his grief, with a fresh start towards this, from this devil energy, that he's working towards his own liberation from the third party as well. Yeah, from the third party to return back into this connection in the right way. Yeah, so this is where this liberation also could happen, that he might come forward and tell you that he has exposed this connection in front of the third party and the karmic partner. This also could be a possibility here for some people. I'm getting that too. Okay, let's look at the instinct here. So this situation that was in hiding from a lot of people will completely topple, because that was a faulty situation where there was no justice for you or for him. Shadow work. Yeah, see, he's doing a lot of shadow work towards the situation, towards a situation of deception that he had with you, which was created the entire picture of mess, refocusing on the signs that he's getting towards his own story now, guys. Is doing a lot of shadow work towards his survival instinct as well, towards how he can express his love and gratitude, be the man, be the divine masculine, to create his own heart space and wash away the old with the energy of the sun, the vigor, that strength to talk to you, to express his love, to express his gratitude, where earlier he had been stuck because of those challenges and the fear in his mental state of chaos in here, guys. He's doing a lot of shadow work on this situation. He's working on this energy because this deception card is here, where earlier he knows he has deceived you because of the situation that now has to open up and truth has to be told. Okay, let's look at the dissipating workaholic guilt and recovery here. Forgiveness, look. He's learning to forgive himself. He's learning, and it also could be, okay, this is also what I'm getting, guys. It also could be that for some of the divine masculine, they were also holding a lot of grudge, not only for themselves, but even towards you, divine feminine. Okay, even towards you, because, it was like he knew he had made the mistake with himself or by himself, but it was like he was trying to be manipulative and even blaming you to a large extent for his own unhappiness. Not accepting the entire blame on his life, on his shoulders. So not taking the entire blame on his shoulders, So with forgiveness, guys, you got blossom or spring and grief. Look, he's learning to understand his own situation here. He's learning to forgive himself, getting enlightenment to blossom back from that area of grief and compromise is at the bottom, and compromise a situation with you for the new direction from that barrier to return back to you with the right understanding in the 3D, in the material world, for the lessons that he has learned, or with the lesson that he has learned so far. So far, he's learning to forgive himself, guys. He's definitely learning to forgive himself very, very much, very, very much in here, because he has understood his own mistake. And you know what it is that I'm also getting, guys, that he knows he made a mistake. He knows that. But he was not accepting his defeat. He was not accepting the fact that he had done things wrong. Like I said, he was trying to push a part of the blame on you. He was trying to push a part of the blame on other people because he had spiritually not come to the point of accepting his own fault and accepting his own defeat and being humble about that situation. Okay, being humble about the situation to move. But now you see the cycle, how it's moving from one to the other, from one to the other, and it's completely like he has totally accepted his own fault with the spiritual growth, forgiving himself, becoming more enlightened, that it was nobody's fault but his own, and that he has to take responsibility for his own action now. For his own action now. Let me see the last part of the message we get from this tarot in here, just to wind up this reading. But this is what the story is, guys, okay? This is what the story is. And we got a card already. The Two of Wheels, okay? And the Tower. Look, yeah, there is the old collapse and a new start of the situation in his balance, where now he wants to merge things with you, Divine Feminine. Got the Lovers that also had flipped out. He's merging this love. He's merging this connection in here, guys. Because like I told you, he has realized that he cannot do it alone anymore. He cannot. And even if he tries, it will not work. Bottom of the deck is the High Priestess. This is the secret, the Page of Wheels, the Queen of Swords, the Nine of Cups. Yeah, this is the story that will come into the surface very soon. The Ten of Cups and the Four of Swords, because he's planning on this complete emotional fulfillment. The Ten of Cups, the Nine of Cups. Look, this is what he is working on to talk with you. And this is slowly he is moving forward with his own intuitive understanding of the secret that now needs to be told. And truth be told, like I said, truth needs to come out in the open. Okay, so here we have the Two of Wheels and the Lovers. So he's merging this connection, guys. He's merging this connection, and this is where the balance is. He's working on that balance to merge both these two people in this connection in here in the right way, to bring back the balance in this connection with you, Divine Feminine. And Eight of Wheels or Eight of Pentacles, and this is what he's focused on. How he can merge the money, the health, the wealth, the vitality, the emotional fulfillment in this connection in here. He's working on this merger. He's working on this merger in here with the Six of Wheels. Look, the reciprocity here. The reciprocity with the Fool card to begin the story once again in a complete new format, like I told you. Okay, in a complete new way. This is the money part of the situation, the emotions part of the situation, the right reciprocity of the situation. He's totally focused on this, as he's moving around this lunar eclipse change to start this entire connection and take that leap of faith towards this new story once again with you, to merge both people together, to turn this Nine of Pentacles into the Ten of Pentacles. He's got the 8, he's got the 9, he's got the 6, 8, and 9. Okay, so that 7 of Pentacles is missing, the 10 of Pentacles is missing. The 7 is that situation where he had already worked through this. He knows it. The harvest is on, guys. That story is on. You just have to wait and see what he does. And please, put your comment in the comment box. to let me know what you guys have realized from this reading. But this is an entirely whole new situation that he's working towards his own return into this connection with you, merging the two together to build this twin flame. Happy, happy, happy connection. Enjoy this reading, guys. We'll see you again once again. Till then, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And Khuda Hafiz.